Hi folks, right, I want to get this this video out quite quickly because we've just had the non-farm payroll number out, and weaker dollar, much weaker number for the non-farm payroll number. So we're going to start with the Aussie yen actually, because the Aussie yen's pushed up to quite a strong resistance level around 82.00. It's a 50% fib. It's the 200-day moving average, and there's a trend line up there as well. So I quite like this as a resistance level today. We've already had a big run up in the Aussie yen, so I think there's a good chance that we're seeing a high for the day up here at around 82.00. We've backed off a little bit from there, so I just wanted to make you aware of that. I think a short would need a stop above sort of 82.30. That certainly should be enough room. Probably even 82.25 would be enough room. The Aussie US dollar looks good. We've pushed higher. We've got a little bit of trend line resistance. I think I can probably show you that better on the 4-hour chart. Where are we? 4-hour chart. Here we go. Right. Just expand this. Okay, there we go. If I scrunch this chart up a little bit, you can see the 4-hour chart trend line just touching it. It's backing off a little bit. There we go. It's not a serious trend line, so a short might be a little bit risky in my opinion, but certainly it seems to be holding at this stage. You can make of that what you will. As I say, I think a short's probably a little bit risky, but having said that, I wouldn't be surprised to see a pullback in the Aussie dollar right now. We've had a good run up today, and maybe that's just enough for the time being. Canadian dollar versus Japanese yen is a little bit trickier. I've talked about this sort of kind of bull flag formation. Maybe that's a bit ambitious. Maybe it's really more of a sideways consolidation in a channel. But anyway, one way or another, it's a scalper's market. Has been for a couple of weeks now, certainly for a week now, and we've just backed off that upper trend line. So I don't think that's particularly exciting, but worth noting just because it's trading within those trend lines that I talked about. Now the Euro US dollar, that's got a little bit more interesting. We've had a right good run up from that strong support level down at 118.00. It's run all the way up to 119.00, and we've got really good resistance at 119.15, 119.25. We backed away just below that today. Yeah, the high today being 119.08. I think personally that 119.15, 119.25 is a very strong resistance level. I'm just going to take some of these old trend lines off here. They're just sort of littering the place. And we've backed away just below that. So yeah, just watch that level, 119.15, 119.25. I think that if we did push just a little bit higher today, that's the best chance of a high for the day for me. Real strong resistance level up there for the euro versus the US dollar. Cable now looks strong. We had that big resistance level a little bit lower around 118.00. Once we got through there, that was for me the positive signal. Actually today, just on that number, I think we dipped to 138.17. So just came within a few pips of that strong support level, and off we go again. So for me, cable looks quite strong. Some of the other markets might turn around, but cable for me looks quite good. New Zealand dollar. I had my resistance level in the New Zealand dollar probably a little bit too low today. I was focused mainly on the moving averages in the short term and also on the daily chart. So for me, I thought a break above 71.55 was going to be positive. We blipped on that number up to 71.65. We've come down again, and this trend line really does seem to be holding. We're quite overbought on the daily chart. We're very overbought on the shorter term charts. So for me, I still think that this run may have finished now. Look at all these green candles. We really have had a massive run, very strong in the last few days, and we are getting overbought. So for me, I think that the Kiwi probably has topped out at this stage. We would have to close above today's high at 71.65 for me to be bullish next week, but I think we're in for a bit of a correction in the short term at the beginning, maybe for the rest of today and the beginning of the week next week. The euro yen is reversed today. I saw quite strong resistance up around the 131.00 level. We haven't got that far, so not much to do there. We've got some support around 130.30, 130.20. Probably not enough for me to want to consider a long position, but just thought I would mention it. Gold pushing a little bit higher, not really seeing the strength that the gold bulls would want. We've got a little trend line resistance, which I'll just show you in a second. There's your trend line. So this dates back to the 15th of July. And that's what's holding us. It's so difficult to decipher a pattern in gold, but for me, that's definitely the trend line that's holding today. That comes in at around, well, it's around the high, isn't it? which is around 1830. So we're going to need a weekly close above 1830 for the market to start strongly next week. And if that doesn't hold, more sideways action, really getting a little bit frustrating. Lots of sideways action this week, trying to break higher on that non-farm payroll number with the weaker employment data, but not managing to hold on to gains. Silver, a real up one day, down the next. That's what it's been like for this week. I've been looking for this just to push above 2400. We tried it yesterday. We got up to 2428 if I remember correctly. Today, finally, we maybe are seeing that breakout. Not an easy market to trade. You couldn't really have held a position for very long during the week. A bit frustrating, but finally up through, well through 2400. So I think I'm betting on some further upside. I think we'll see 2470, 2480. That's definitely a resistance level, purely because of the 38.2% fib and the 50-day moving average. But I do think we will see another 40 pips on the upside for silver, and we will achieve that target. I'll finish on the stock markets. You might have thought that the stock markets would see some weakness on those on that weak unemployment number, but not really. We're just trading sideways, no sell signals particularly. I think we've even hit a new all-time high today. We've got to 45.50, but very, very slow, the stock markets this week, ahead of that Labor Day holiday in the US on Monday. So they're probably packing up already in the US now and heading off for their long weekend after that non-farm payroll release. It's a dilemma, isn't it, for the stock markets? Because on the one hand, if the economy is weakening, it's not a good thing for the stock markets. But if the economy is weakening, then the Fed will keep their stimulus going for longer, which is obviously positive for the stock markets. I think that's all I've got to say for today. Have a great weekend. I will be back with you on Monday.